Hi, Nathan. Hey, I think there was some kind of misunderstanding or confusion today. We went over all the answers in class today. I assumed everybody had gotten there, but I'll go ahead and take you through all the stations right now. So, question one, station two, Cupid's arrow travels 45 meters in 5 seconds. So, what's the speed? We just divide 45 by 5, and that would give us 9 meters per second. So, our answer is A. For station two, what type of energy is present when Cupid's arrow is pulled back and ready to shoot? That's stored energy in the bow, right? So that would be potential energy. B. For this one, you had to do a little bit of research, especially if you don't know Newton's laws of motion. So one thing I would recommend is Newton's laws. Go right on over to Google Images because they usually will break it down a little bit faster. So let's look at this. Cupid flies up whenever he flaps his wings down. Up and down, opposite reactions. So let's find which one of Newton's laws talks about opposite reactions. So this one's an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Force equals mass times acceleration. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So we would want C for our answer here. For question 4, we actually had to use Newton's second law. Force equals mass times acceleration. So if we go to here, we would see his arrow weighs 50 grams and it has a velocity or an acceleration of 5 meters per second. So we would multiply those two together and our answer would be B, 250 newtons. For your letter combination here, your answer to number 1, which was A, is not in the right order. So you have to follow these little dotted lines. And, that's actually going to be the second letter. And when it's all said and done, we should have C, A, B, D, all caps. That should get you to station 3. When dancing in the moonlight, you see waxing crescent. What moon phase will you see 3 days later? So on this one, again, we would just do a quick Google search if we don't remember the moon phases from our Earth, Moon, and Sun. And we would quickly see that when it's at a waxing crescent, it's heading towards its first quarter. So our answer is B. Boy sets up a picnic table on the beach next to a sand dune. How are sand dunes formed? Again, if you don't remember these, just look them up. This is stuff I believe that we covered in 7th grade. But the answer is actually erosion and deposition. So that is A. A couple has an adventure hiking up on a mountain. What causes mountains to form? So again, this is 7th grade, and maybe 6th grade too, but when we have two land masses and they converge, that means come together, where there's going to be an uplift and we're going to see mountain ranges form. So that would be divergent boundaries. And for station number 4, what is the force that keeps people from floating off the ground? I'll let you answer that one. When you get to here, you take your answers from each question and you match them up on the grid. So for question 1, our answer was B. That arrow is pointing to the right. So we know that our first one down here is going to be capital R. And when it's all said and done, we should have R, R, D, L. That should take you to section 4, station 4. So which biome would a white teddy bear best be camouflaged? So biome is just an environment. So which environment that hosts life would you see, or would it be hardest to see a white teddy bear? So there's a rainforest, desert, tundra, that's up where the Arctic is, and then there's deciduous forest. So for that one, we would want to choose the tundra, right? Because there's a lot more snow and ice up there. For station 4, which of the following is a biotic factor? So this is Greek and Latin. Bio means life. Ik means pertains to. So which of the following is a factor that pertains to life you may interact with on Valentine's Day? So which one of these things have to do with life? It would be candy, balloons, chocolate, or flowers. So flowers are plants, so that would be our answer. Why is releasing balloons bad for the environment? And on this one, I would hope that we know that the latex can end up in oceans, which animals can mistake for food. Okay, identify a producer. Again, we haven't covered this year. This is 6th and 7th grade stuff, but a producer. Now remember, a producer is something that usually grows and that other animals eat. But they also aren't something like a mushroom, which is a decomposer, which breaks down material, right? So we would say it is the sunflower. Now for this one, you just find question one. Question one, our answer was C, so our first number is B. Go to question two and do that same process. And our 4-code lock should be 525234. That should take us to station number 5. Now for this one, we wanted to pull up a periodic table of elements. Just do a Google search and find that image. And my advice is count the big letters. So here's carbon. That's the letter C. You can see that right here. Next one is a capital H. There's hydrogen. And we continue on, and we find CO. That's cobalt. La is lanthanum, and then Te is trellum. And so that means we have 5. So our answer is C5. For this one, we need to look at this little graduated cylinder and try to figure out exactly where that water line is, or that fluid line. Actually, it's the secret ingredient to the love potion. So it's 1 tit below 10, so that would be E. Which of the following is an example of chemical change? So remember, chemical change means we have something that is now totally different. Not just a different color or different bits and pieces of it, but it's totally different. So imagine burning wood for a fire. When you burn that wood, and you go dig around in the ash, or you collect the gas and the smoke and the heat, you can't change it back to wood. Okay, so that is a chemical change. If you take that big log and you cut it in half, well, it's still wood, it's just smaller pieces. So it's the same substance, the same stuff. So that's a physical change, it's not a chemical change. So let's look at our examples. Cutting a cupcake to share. Well, that would be a cupcake still that you're eating with your friends, so that's not a chemical change. Dipping strawberries in melted chocolate, they're still strawberries. Coloring a Valentine's Day card, it's still a card, just you made it a different color, so it's not a chemical change. Baking heart-shaped cookies. So you take milk, eggs, flour, sugar, and you mix it all up, bake it. Now you've got your heart-shaped cookie. Now, can you take the egg out of that cookie? Or the milk? No. So that's our chemical change, is J. Station 5, which piece of jewelry contains the element with the highest atomic mass? Again, go over to that periodic table, and you might have to make it a little bigger so you can actually see it a little bit more. There we go. And we can see the atomic mass here, and then we find those 4 elements, and we figure out which one contains the most mass. So we go back over here, and we look at tungsten, silver, platinum, and gold. Guess what? We find gold has the highest atomic mass. And that was question 4. So now we are here to our decoder. So the answer to question 1 was C. So our first number is 3. And if we keep on going, we would have 3, 1, 5, 5. And then you go to the next section, and you'll see this congratulations, you did the escape. And then down at the bottom, there's a submit button down here. make sure to push that, and then you will be done, friend.